All right. Let's get this show started. Welcome everyone, to all the ones present and to the ones viewing this recording. Welcome, welcome. Make yourself at home. So I'll jump straight into the presentation. Quick intro: my name is Charles Hope, part-time founder, and you can find more about me at yourstartupadvisor.com. Okay, so your first 10 customers won't come from ads. So your first 10 customers are not out there waiting to be found. They are already in your phone. So they are not in an ad account, not in a funnel. They are in your contact, your inbox, and the notes from the conversations you have already had. Today, I want to show you how to go get them one at a time. One at a time. I know one at a time, it sounds very slow, and it is slow, but just stick with me. Before I prove that to you, give me 10 seconds on why I'm the one standing up here saying it and saying this, right? Really quick. I've spent 14 years in startups and around startups. I've started 4 of my own, some worked, some didn't. And I've sat with more than 650 founders. Every one of them at some point hit the exact wall I want to talk about today. So this isn't theory. It's the pattern I've watched play out hundreds of times. Right? This is not theory. This is putting experience into practice. Okay, let's get into it. Here's the moment. This is the moment. Too many founders have gone through this exact moment. You've poured months and months into building. You finished your product. The product works. You are so proud of it. And then you look at the number that actually matters, and it's 0. That feeling in your stomach right now, that's the feeling. And what you do in the next 30 days decides a lot. So let's talk about what most founders do next and why it quietly wastes their time. I get it. I get it. The instinct is to get as loud as possible. Ads, a funnel, a big launch post. All of that feels like progress because it feels like marketing. But here's the problem. Ads are an amplifier. I'll say that again. Ads are an amplifier. They amplify. They take a message that already works and make it reach more people. But at 0 customers, you don't yet know what message works, who it works on, and what they will pay. So you're amplifying a guess. You're pointing a megaphone at an empty field, and you're paying by the shout. The good news is there is a better tool for right now, and it's free. It's just harder. Still free. It's just harder. Let's reframe what these first 10 are even for. Let's take the number. Let's take the pressure off the number itself. 10 customers is not going to pay your rent. It's not the win. The first 10 are the single fastest way to learn whether you have something real. Every person who says yes and every person who says no hands you information you cannot get any other way. So stop thinking of the first 10 as revenue. I'll say that again. Stop thinking of the first 10 as revenue. Start thinking of them as 10 teachers who happen to pay you. They are 10 teachers who happen to pay you. That reframe changes everything about how you go and get them. When you lend those first 10 by hand, you walk away with 3 things money cannot buy. Proof. Real humans paid real money, so you're not guessing anymore. Language. You hear the exact words they use to describe the problem, and those words become your website, your pitch, everything. And direction. They tell you, often without meaning to, what to build next and what to quietly kill. You do not get any, you will not get any of that from an ad dashboard. You get it from a conversation. Which brings me to the part nobody likes to hear. Here's the part that makes founders wins. Getting your first 10 customers is manual. It doesn't scale. You will talk to people one at a time. You will send messages by hand. You will have conversations that go nowhere. And that is not a bug. That's the whole point. Things that don't scale are how you learn the things you'll need before you scale. I'll repeat that. Things that don't scale are how you learn the things you'll need before you scale. You cannot automate a relationship you haven't built yet. So, for the next few weeks, being slow and personal is a feature, not a bug. Let's talk about where these 10 people actually are. Picture a target. In the dead center are people who already know you. Friends, former colleagues, people from past jobs, and anyone you've already spoken to about the problem. One ring out, people you can reach through a single introduction. One more ring, the places your ideal customers already gather, communities, groups, events. And way out on the edge, total strangers, cold. Too many founders start at the edge. Cold outreach and ads, because it feels less scary than asking someone they know. Flip that. Please flip that. Start in the middle. It's much warmer in the middle. It's faster. And the people there actually pick up the phone. And there's one group in that center. There is one group in that center that most founders completely forgot about. Here's the thing. If you've done proper customer discovery, if you've done proper validation, here's the good news. You've already met your first customers. Every person who sat down and told you about their problem is a warm, qualified lead who already trusts you enough to talk. Go back to them first. And if you haven't done proper customer discovery yet, do not panic. Do not panic. Too many founders haven't. And that is completely normal and expected. For you, this is simply the reason to start those conversations next week. To start doing customer discovery next week. Same people, same approach. You're just having the chat a little later. Either way, the list starts with real humans you can name. So, why do these particular people say yes so often? When customer discovery is done properly and goes well, the people you spoke to handed you two gifts. First, they confirmed that the problem is real. It exists outside your own head. Second, and this is the big one, they showed you it's painful. And that matters. Because in life, we have many problems. And many of them are not painful. And we would not pay for a solution to solve them. So they confirm the problem is real. It exists outside your own head. And they showed you it's a painful problem. It costs them money, time, or sleep. When you come back to that same person with a solution to the exact pain they described, you are not cold pitching a stranger. You are showing up with a fix for something they already complained about. That is a very different conversation. Very different conversation. Now, let me give you the simple loop for actually landing them. Here's the whole thing in one slide. 4 steps, and it's a loop, not a straight line. It's a loop. List the people. Reach out to them personally, manually, one by one. Ask for the thing. learn from what happens. Then feed what you learn back into the list and go again. It's simple on purpose, because you'll run this loop dozens of times. Let's take each step one at a time, starting with the list. Step 1. Open a notes app or a spreadsheet and write down actual human beings by name. Not small business owners, not marketing managers. No. Names. Actual names. Start with the people who know you and the people you interviewed during your customer discovery. Aim for a list of 30 or so, because not everyone will say yes. In reality, most say no. And you're aiming for 10 at the end. If you can't name 30 people who might want this, that's not a failure. It's useful information. And it usually means the next step is more discovery conversations. The list is boring. Yes. Making the list is boring. It's also the step most people skip. And then they wonder why outreach feels so hard. Once you have names, you reach out. Step 2. Reach out to one person at a time, personally. Message them where they actually are. That can be an email, a direct message, WhatsApp, or maybe in person. Say their name. Mention the specific problem you know they have. Ideally, in their own words from your earlier chat during discovery. Keep it short and human. You are not blasting a campaign. You're starting a conversation with someone you'd be happy to buy a coffee. Yes, this is much slower than hitting send to list. Much slower. That slowness is why it works. When people can tell a message was written for them and only them, you have much higher chances of getting a response. Much higher chances of getting a response. Then comes the part founders are most scared of. Step 3. And this is where most founders freeze. You have to ask. You have to ask. Make a clear, simple offer and ask them to pay for it. I know it's uncomfortable. I know I've been there myself. It's uncomfortable. It feels like you're asking a favor from someone you know. But you're not asking a favor. You're offering to solve a real problem that they have. And money is how you find out if the problem is real enough. A free pilot where everyone smiles and nods teaches you almost nothing. The moment someone takes out a card, you've learned something true. Charge from customer 1, even a small amount. The number matters less than the fact that they paid at all. And whatever happens next, you learn from it. Step 4. After every conversation, write down what you learned while it's fresh. When someone says yes, ask yourself what actually tipped them over, and do more of that with the next person. When someone says no, dig for the real reason, not the polite one. Oh, I'll think about it. Usually means something specific. So gently find out what. Then you take everything you learned and feed it straight back into your list and your message. And you run the loop again, a little sharper each time. That's it. List, reach, ask, learn. 4 steps in a loop. Get personal. Manual messages. One at a time. List, reach, ask, and learn. Now, one thing changes depending on what kind of business you're building. The loop itself, it's the same for everyone. For everyone. What changes is which door you knock on. If you're building for businesses, 10 paying customers is genuinely meaningful revenue. And you're usually reaching a specific decision maker directly. Expect it to take a few conversations to close one. That's healthy, not a red flag. B2B takes time. Just accept that. It takes time. If you're building for consumers, 10 customers won't move your metrics. But that's not the point, as we've seen. Those first 10 are the users you learn from and turn into fans. Your first 10 customers are the users you learn from. They are there to teach you, and you are there to turn them into fans, to make them happy with the product and to make them happy with you, the founder. You go where they already hang out and you recruit each one by hand, like you're inviting them to something special. Different doors, same knock. Now, we're making good time here. So before we wrap, let me be honest about when the thing in the title of this presentation actually changes. Because I want to be fair to ads. I am not anti-marketing. I am not anti-ads. Ads are a great tool. They are just the wrong tool for right now. Once you've done this by hand, once you know exactly who your customer is, what words make them buy, and what they'll pay, then ads become very powerful, because now you're amplifying something that works instead of amplifying a guess. So the message isn't never run ads. That is not what I'm saying. The message is earn the right to run ads. Acquire your first 10 customers by hand first, one by one. Then, and only then, start turning up the volume. Now, quick warnings, because I see these traps too many times. Too many times. One, hiding behind building. Oh, I'll just add one more feature, one more feature, just one more capability, just one more. I just want to build this. Like, I know that's, if I build this, it's just this one. Adding one more feature feels productive, but it's often just avoidance. You're just avoiding the job. The message won't send itself. You have to send the message. Two, waiting until it's perfect. Perfect is the enemy of good. Keep that in mind. Perfect is the enemy of good. Your first 10 customers expect rough edges. They are not expecting perfection. They expect rough edges. They are only expecting you to solve the problem. That's what early means. You solve the problem. You have rough edges, but you solve their problem. Perfect is a way of never starting or never finishing the work. Again, you're avoiding the job. Three, being vague. Oh, anyone could use this, is a list of no one. No one. Name actual humans. Please name actual humans. Avoid those three, and you are ahead of a lot of founders. Okay. If everything from this presentation falls out of your head on your way home, or you're already maybe home, keep these four, right? If everything else falls, keep these four, right? The first 10 customers are teachers. They are not a sales target. They are there to teach you. Warm beats cold. So start in the middle of that target with people who know you. Go one by one, by hand, and ask for money from the very first customer. And earn the right to run ads instead of starting there. Earn the right to run ads. That's the whole talk. Now, here's what I actually want you to do. One assignment. Yeah. This is just one not so simple assignment. Before you spend a single dime on ads, open your notes and write down 10 real people by name. Then message the first one today before you go to bed. Or if it's too late, don't message them today. Wait until tomorrow. But write them as soon as possible. Pick one and send them the message ASAP. That's today or tomorrow. While the courage is fresh. Because I'm hoping you're more encouraged at this point. That one message is the start of your first 10 customers. That one message is the start of your first iteration in the loop. Do that, and you are already doing the thing most founders talk themselves out of. That one step, you pick one person, write a real message, a personal message, a manual message. Do that, and you are already doing the thing most founders talk themselves out of. Thank you very much. And I will open the floor for questions if everyone's here or not still here. Feel free to jump in. You don't need to raise your hands. If you have questions, just jump in.
Hey, Charles, thanks for the presentation. I just wanted to get your quick opinion on free trials. You know, what are your thoughts around that, offering that to the first prospective early adopters? I mean, one challenge that we've faced is, you know, free trials are all great and we get exceptional feedback, but then as soon as it comes time, you know, when the trial expires, as soon as it comes time to the customer taking their wallet out, then they disappear. So yeah, what's your take on that?
I'm not against free trials, right? Because if you're talking about the business model, free trials, right? Like for example, Google Workspace. Google Workspace has a free trial of 14 days, right? You can use Google Workspace, you can create an account and use it for 14 days, no payment required, just use it for 14 days, right? And then if you want to continue, you pay, right?
Yeah.
I'm not against free trials, right? But if they're not paying, if that free trial period is ending and they're not paying, that's information. They're telling you something, right? They're telling you something. Something is there's a gap. Something is not clicking. And what my suggestion is, go back to them. Not of course not to confront them. It's like, why are you not paying me? Huh? No.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're trying to learn, right? You're trying to go to them with an open mind, right? A completely open mind. You just want to learn what's missing, what's not clicking, right? That's not making them move to become a paid customer. Something's not clicking.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Just go talk to them.
Cool. Thanks.
Anyone else?
Hey Charles, thanks for the presentation. And following up on the previous discussion, like for example, if after the free trial nobody comes back, I'm connecting this with, for example, waiting for more feature and waiting for the perfection. So sometime, for example, we think that okay, we want to go to those 10, 20 people that we know, but then you think that okay, let me make the product in some kind of a presentable format that maybe even if they use it, they don't say no to it, because if they say no to it, then it will be very difficult to get their time again, because for some foreseeable future they will not trust that product and say that okay, it's too patchy and we don't want to go with that. So that's why sometime you have to hold back, make it a bit perfect, and then you go and launch it. So what about that? What's your perspective?
Okay. Yeah. So two things I want to address. The first one is when you do customer discovery and you go on having those conversations to validate that the problem exists. If you're successful during your customer discovery, some of the people, you know, a significant amount of people during that you've talked to, they validated that the problem exists. You have clarity on what the problem is, and that the problem is a painful one. But more importantly, like, it's a painful problem, and you know what the problem is. So your product, the V1 or V0.1, your MVP of that product that solves that problem should aim for that. Is what is the simplest version of a product that solves that problem? Like, it's I always give the same example of hair on fire. If I don't have a lot of hair, but if your hair is on fire, right? If you have hair and your hair is on fire, first, that is a problem, and second, that is a very painful problem, right? So if your hair is on fire and someone approaches and gives you a brick, like literally a brick, and they tell you just scratch it on your head and the fire will be gone, you will take the brick and you will put out the fire. You won't question it. Your hair is on fire. It's painful. You will take the brick if that's the solution you have at hand, right? If that's the solution that it's, sure, the brick can be improved and the solution can be improved. So that MVP needs to be the simplest, effective solution that solves that problem. If you go back to that customer, if you go back to the person, right? Say, hey, remember, when we talk about that problem, I have a solution for it. And you provide that solution. And they tell you, oh, if you only had this other feature, if you only had this other capability, then it's not clicking. Then it's a no for them. More often than not, when a customer is asking for more features, you're not solving the root problem. You're not solving a painful problem to them, right? But when you solve a painful problem, you can have a product that has rough edges, as long as it works. That's the important thing. Like, as long as it works, if it solves my problem, if it solves my hair on fire problem, I will use it. Because it hurts. That problem hurts every single day. It's hurting me. It's costing me time, or it's costing me money, or it's costing me sleep. I want a solution for that. And even if it's not perfect, but more importantly, if it works, I will use it. I will not ask for, oh, like the hair on fire. I give you a brick, right? I give you a brick and tell me, a brick? You don't have a glass of water? Or you don't have, like, can you put some feathers around the brick so it's softer? Dude, your hair is on fire. Like, it's a painful problem. Just put out the fire with whatever you have at hand. I hope I clarified. Did I clarify the question?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that perspective.
Thank you. Yeah, my pleasure. Anyone else, guys? Any other questions before we wrap up?